Hi and welcome back. My name is Jörg, which is German for George here at Find a Job in Germany in Berlin. Today's clip is about something which especially tech and IT professionals don't really like to hear as much because they think that all they need to get a job is tech skills. Maybe you're one of them, maybe not. I do not know. In any case, let me tell you from experience, only tech skills aren't really going to get you anywhere. And this is what this clip is about. What will be essential for you to get a job are your soft skills. So here are the top 3 soft skills that you should definitely bring to the table if you want to land a job in Germany. Here's a little HR and recruiting 101. In general, in order to assess a candidate's skill, recruiters refer to what is called competence. Okay, so when it comes to evaluating if somebody is meeting certain criteria or criteria that they want the candidate to fulfill and to assess whether they're actually met, they're using that term. And a competence is, first of all, your ability to solve problems, and second, your willingness, of course, also to do so. And we generally distinguish between hard skills on the one hand and soft skills on the other. And I'm sure you've heard those 2 terms before. Now, hard skills means your professional qualification, your expertise, your knowledge in a certain domain, in a certain area. So if you're a cloud engineer, and I'm just giving you this as one example, then of course you know certain programming languages. I don't know, like Python, Java, C Sharp, whatever. And then besides, of course, AWS and Azure, you know, tech tools and other programs like Kubernetes, Ansible, Jenkins, some CI/CD stuff like that, right? You get the picture. And this tech stack, that is one example, only one example of many, of, that's right, your hard skills. And then there are soft skills. And just to make that distinction clear to you, they essentially mean anything else. Okay. There are personal soft skills, social soft skills, method oriented soft skills, right? And they can all mean different aspects of your personality or how you interact with others or how you go about performing a certain task. Again, all that is soft skills. And I can give you a few examples like courage, intrinsic motivation, team orientation, reliability, empathy, and so on and so forth. Yeah, the list really goes on and on. Now, again, for your understanding, German HR will still typically care most about your professional/hard skills. Yeah, because your future employer naturally is gonna want you to know your subject. Yeah? And they're gonna ask you questions about that in the tech rounds, sometimes even already in the first round. So that is where you have to demonstrate that you know your subject and your domain. You get the picture. Now, besides those hard skills, which are the top 3 most frequently required soft skills that we really see the most in job descriptions? Well, the first one is really not going to be surprising to you, and that's communication skills. Okay, now, technically speaking, communication skills refer to your understanding through language, through signs, and that can really comprise complex things. Like, for example, your capacity to reflect on certain situations, your capability to resolve conflicts, your capability to motivate, your capability to convince others. And then there is network thinking, right? How do you think with other team members? So all these things, they all fall under communication skills. That's what many people don't know. Even team skills, or actually the right term that we use is team orientation, that is also an essential part of communication skills. So you see, communication skills really is a generic and very broad term that is used for so many things. And it will be by far, I can guarantee you that, the most important soft skill for you to demonstrate throughout the interview rounds. And again, it's about being able to deal with other people, resolve conflicts, come to terms with each other, right? But it's also about naturally, in the truest sense of the word, clear wording, awesome English skills, which I generally advise everyone to practice. So if you're struggling in this department, I don't know, maybe practicing public speaking skills. That's really an advice I give to people very often. That's something you might want to consider becoming better at. Next item on the list are problem-solving skills. And I can also share this with you from experience. German corporate culture is really not so much about, somebody showing you in detail how things get done, waiting for you until forever until you get things right. Of course, it really depends on the corporate culture. It really depends on where you land, which kind of team lead you get, et cetera, et cetera. But you will find, and I'm sure, certain situations in the interview rounds and then at your new job where you'll be asked to think independently, develop and propose solutions by yourself, okay, or with the team eventually, and express those. So that is really what problem solving is about. It means seeing and thinking through things and then systematically tackling a certain challenge and then obviously eventually reaching a positive outcome. And you will find this to be frequently mentioned or, yeah, let me say circumscribed in various job descriptions. Like you're able to overcome certain challenges, etc., etc. So you will definitely be checked for that in the interview process, especially if you see something like this in the job description. And last comes critical thinking. Now, that's also a very strange term, right? But what critical thinking actually means and relates to is that you're able to prioritize, okay? This is really important because it means that you're able to see the essential in all the various influences affecting your daily life, okay? Your daily work life. It goes even further than this, I would say, because it's not also about you being able to prioritize, but really about you not blindly accepting anything that you are confronted with, arguments, conclusions, but that you're really able to put presumptions to the test by yourself and that you draw your own conclusions. Okay, so that's how teams will really even benefit from your input. So if you're able to see through all the noise, okay, cut through that and distinguish relevant from irrelevant stuff, verify your evidence, and then draw your own conclusions. That's what critical thinking really is about. And this is also key nowadays. And this is where you score really high. Not as often mentioned in JDs, but we still see it being circumscribed in certain job descriptions every now and then. Now, do you have to demonstrate these soft skills in your CV somewhere or somehow? You can, but you don't have to. One example would be if you've already had a team lead position. Okay, you've gathered experience in that area. You can go ahead and put that in a way where you describe how you've led a team, okay, how many people, and so on. But in general, you don't have to worry about it as much until you're actually getting calls, because then they will be testing you for especially your communication and your problem skills anyway. That's when all these skills will eventually matter. If you're interested in exactly that, that is getting calls from German companies to find a job here in Germany, go ahead and watch our video training to understand how we work and how we get you into the process with German companies and what exactly our coaching program is all about. All the best from Berlin and see you soon.